Hello and welcome to this very first look at the brand new ThamesLink Class 700 for Train Sim World 3. I'm really excited to have a first look at this loco. So without further ado, let's jump in the cab. As you can see, we are now sat in the cab of the Class 700, and first thing you've got to notice is this lovely big window in front of us, giving us great visibility. So if you enjoy this video, please hit that like button and also consider subscribing. It really is appreciated. But we are running a service today from Dartford all the way to Rainham. So I'm really looking forward to this, and we'll be stopping at every stop along the way, I believe. So we've got Stone Crossing first, Greenhithe for Bluewater, Swanscombe, Northfleet, Gravesend, Higham, Strood, Rochester, Chatham, Gillingham. Oh god, I'm running out of breath here. And Rainham. So you can see we are definitely going to be stopping along the way. Plenty of stops. And this is obviously, of course, the home route for the Class 700, which is Southeastern Highspeed. And we can get accelerating up to 70 miles an hour. So let's see what this 700 can do in its DC power. We're up to 30 already. It's nice. Let's jump into the 2 camera and let's just not clip through everything. Get a good first look at as we get squished there by a 465. But I have to say, this it does look really fantastically modelled. Obviously, this is a very different experience to some of the other locos on Southeastern Highspeed. Of course, this is a lot more modern. Well, they are modern locos trains, but this is extremely modern in the sense you've got all digital displays here. You've got the speedo and obviously the AWS Sunflower as well. But yeah, it just feels a lot different experience to what most people are probably used to on Southeastern Highspeed. Especially like the 375, you just kind of get that little post box window where you can't really take in the scenery. But I love this. This is a great first impression already. And from the outside, it looks really fantastic. It's actually, we can speed up now a little bit here. But we'll be stopping very shortly for Stone Crossing, and we're going to get a double yellow here anyway, which we'll acknowledge AWS for. And we need to be slowing, I think. The brakes are pretty good on this 700, I'm led to believe. So let's give this a go. We're doing 50 as we enter the station, so I'm a little bit skeptical here. But we're slowing quite nicely, actually. We can probably ease off a little bit there, as we've got another double yellow. And we need to roll up towards the end of the platform here. You can see our stop marker just coming up. And this is going to be a fairly tight timetable. There we go. Let's open those doors. So yeah, because there are so many services now on this part of the route, it does really mean that we have to try and stick to our schedule, which makes it all the more interesting. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of traffic along the way as we get to have another good look at this this 700 from the outside. I have to say, it is beautifully modelled. We are an 8-car unit, so pretty good in length, but that's very much what the RLU is all about. So reduced length unit. And there is, of course, the full length unit of this Class 700, which you wouldn't typically find on this this route. That would be more suited to probably Brighton Main Line. Maybe we'll get that one day, who knows. I don't think it's in the works, but one can only dream for that. I'm really impressed with this so far. The sounds are okay. I don't hate them. I know they aren't exactly Class 700 sounds, but for someone who hasn't necessarily ridden on one of these before, it feels realistic, I guess. So up next we've got green height for blue water. And you can see they are very close together. So there's a lot of stop and starting with this service. So this service would have come all the way from Luton, and we have picked it up at Dartford, and we will then take it to Raynham, which is its final stop. So here is green height. And let's look for our stopping point again, which I guess is a little bit further up. Put a little bit of power on just to get us there to our stop point, but we are pretty much bang on time. Actually, we need to go a little way down to the end here. So in one of the roadmap articles, they did talk about putting the proper stop markers in for the Class 700, but I think they are probably a little way off from being included just yet. So hopefully they do come in the future. Let's see if we can... Oh, we've got passengers clipping through there as ever. Let's see if we can get a thumbnail for this. It's that kind of time. You know, if you've clicked on this, you know what video you're watching, and you know where the thumbnail's been taken. So let's get ready to go, and we'll punch it out of green height for our next stop, which will be Swanscombe. Feels like it's got pretty good acceleration, and the brakes on this feel really good actually. Certainly our stop for Stone Crossing was, we came in a little hot there, but the brakes on it brought us to a halt pretty well, so they're pretty forgiving actually. Obviously Southeastern Highspeed was already such a fantastic route with, diversity of sort of different types of services, in terms of you've got the high speed stuff, you've got a lot of commuter stuff already, the freight services, the railhead treatment trains, the drags with the Class 37, and now to add another commuter layer on top just adds even more variety. There's also the rail tours as well. So I love the fact that this is probably by far probably one of the most diverse routes in the game, and it's certainly for me is probably my favourite. Yeah, I'd go as far as saying it is certainly my favourite route to jump into, just to drive a couple of services, because there is just everything there. As we pass another 700, that's very cool to see. And we need to be slow in here for our stop at Swanscombe. Probably a little bit harder here because we are doing 50 still. Let's go max brake. So as that 700 passes us, and we're already getting a freight train come by. This is such a busy section. Let's keep on the full brake there. We are slightly overrunning, but that's not a problem. When we get an opportunity, we'll quickly open the doors here so you can see through the train. Obviously, being a very modern train, there's no kind of, it's all very open interior. You can see from one end of the train to the other, which is very cool, I think. So we're almost finished. Oh no, we've still got a little way to go before we need to be departing. But another opportunity to look at this fantastic Class 700. I am a big fan. I know this has been so eagerly anticipated by the community, and there's been a lot of hype around it. So I'm glad it's finally here. Would I like to see it on more routes? Absolutely. I think there's been obviously a lot of talk around it. Class 700 12-car unit being layered onto Brighton Main Line. I don't think we're going to see that for a little while yet, but maybe it'll come one day. There's no guarantees. And certainly Dovetail are saying that it's not in the works, so it would also be nice to see the 700 being used on a route that has AC power rather than DC power, so running on its pantograph, because I should imagine that's a very different sort of driving experience compared to running on DC. You just have to think back to like the Class 395, the Javelin. Obviously we get to see that on this route both in AC and DC, and you can feel there are two very different driving kind of styles needed for that. So yeah, I think it would be cool to see this in a another route, and hopefully we do sometime soon. So we're coming in for a stop here at Northfleet. Let's go a little bit further up. The brakes on this are just so good. Oh yeah, we can see our stop marker. It's all the way down there actually. Never mind. We'll just stop here. That'll do. Oh no, it wants us to move up. It wants us to move up. We're not... 13 yards is not close enough apparently. Right, let's punch it. It's a little bit closer to the stop marker here. We're in the station, so it's a little harsh. Right, let's open the doors this time. So you can see we're making our way towards Raynham. We've got quite a few stations still to go yet. We're still running to time. Let's just jump into the map and we can show you where we've come from. Obviously we started over here where my cursor is at Dartford, and we've made our way along to where it passes over Highspeed 1, and we may continue on our way towards Raynham. So in total these services are about 45-ish minutes in total to run from Dartford to Raynham, so pretty good length actually. And that's probably a lot of that is because we're stopping at pretty much every... Well, we are stopping at every station along the way, so this is yeah, a lot of stopping and starting, which I like. Keeps you on your toes. So we've got Gravesend next, 1.7 miles to go. Let's get a good view of the 700 here. Let's hear the horn. Sounds pretty nice. Because we've got about 1.6 miles to go, we might be able to get up to our permitted speed of 70 perhaps, who knows. We're up to 50 already. Acceleration is good. Feels a little bit like the 465's acceleration, which is pretty good as well. I believe we hit a AWS warning for 30 at some point around here, if I'm not much mistaken. There you go, you can see the magnet coming up. You can see it, tell I'm clearly have driven this route far too much as we acknowledge AWS there. And we'll start to just brake gently. So our approach into Gravesend is a little bit slow. It's 30 miles an hour, which means we're braking a little bit harder here. I'm still doing 60, but speed really comes down quite quickly. Needs to be a little bit harsher, I think, on the brakes here. You can just see in the distance that 30 is coming up now. There it is. We're doing 35. There's 30. There we go. Lovely stuff. And Gravesend comes into view. You can see we've got a Class 395, a Javelin, stopped as well, and a 495 in the platform there. It's so nice to see so much variety on this route. keep rolling to our stop point, which is looks like it's all the way at the end of the platform here. I think we might be a little bit... no. Pretty... I'll allow that. That's pretty good. Let's jump into the old 8 camera. And we'll have a little wander in the interior here. Thank you very much for opening the door. As you can see that we've got a slight curve because... obviously we're on a slight curve at the moment where we are, but you can see that curve all the way down the interior of the train, which I just find it can be quite mesmerising when you're riding in a train with that style interior. As we lock these doors and we get ready to depart for Higham next. So we've got 4.4 miles, so we're able to do quite a nice little run here. Let's punch it with full power. It does pick up speed well. I like it. I genuinely think this has been a really good release. There we go, we'll just slow it down slightly. There's 30. We'll need to wait for the whole train to clear that 50 board before we start accelerating again. I've driven 7 miles. I will take that. Right, let's put that power back on as we can run up to 50 now. And we can get a good view of this 700. Let's not bounce around. Let's run up here. And we'll plonk ourselves just here, and we'll have a bit of a flyby for the 700. Very nice. So we've got the 70 board coming up in just a second here. A little bit of brake in, we'll slightly speed in. Bit more, there we go, and now we can go to 70. So I think the max speed of the there you go, max speed of the 700 is 100 miles an hour, so we don't really take it anywhere near its top speed on this run. But I just love the fact you can take so much more of the scenery in on this route now with this nice wide cab window. It's really makes a big difference. It's obviously a lot of hard effort and work been put into the route, and it's nice to actually enjoy it for once. I know you get it on the 700 and sorry, the 395, but I think this cab window is just so much bigger. So we get to run now all the way to Higham, and I believe we go past, yeah, we'll go past Who Junction along the way. So we should be approaching Who Junction. It was also noted by on the release of this that when Dovetail Games were testing the Class 700, that there could be a few crashes due to the increased sort of timetable size, and so I think in a due course we'll release they'll be releasing a sort of reduced timetable service if you are experiencing any of those crashes. What it comes with today is the full intense timetable, but based on the performance I'm getting at the moment, it's pretty good for me actually so far. Not seen any stuttering, so I'm relatively happy with this so far. I don't think I'll be needing to switch that shortened timetable as we run past Who Junction and get to take in the Class 66s and all the various wagons that are here, which is very nice. I'd love to see it nice and busy. Yeah, it's looking great. So Higham is up in just a mile. Need to think about where we start braking, because this 700 is so good on its brakes. It's a little more forgiving. So we've only got 30 seconds, but we'll start to gently brake. I think about now. We can see the station coming into view. Bit more brake, I think. Bit more. Yeah, definitely a lot more. There we go, it's coming down nicely. There we go. Actually a bit more brake, I think. As we've got another 700 coming into the station as well. Let this roll a little bit further up to our stop point. There we go. Pretty good, I would say. Let's jump out of the cab here. And we get to take in the view of the two 700s here at Higham. It is very nice. It's got a nice little bit of light weathering on it. Nice ThamesLink logo. It's obviously first class. And we've got various different units. You can see the pantograph there. We've got the accessible carriages here. Let's jump on this side. It's nice. We'll watch the doors shut here. There we go. And away we go for Strood. We'll punch it straight out of the station here at full power. Why not? We're able to run up to 70. The cab looks really sort of sleek. I like it with the digital displays. Let me know in the comments down below what your first thoughts are of the Class 700. Really intrigued to know. Are you enjoying it as much as I am? Because I think it's utterly fantastic. So Strood up next, really as DSD. It's a really slow approach to Strood, just 15 miles an hour. But there is a tight bend as we enter Strood station, so I'm not surprised. As we pop out of one tunnel, we go straight back into the next. And we're pretty much up to the line running speed of 70. So we'll just ease back off the power now. There we go. Lovely stuff. I'd hope we get a DSD warning. Sorry, AWS warning for the upcoming speed reduction. And there we go. You just saw the glimpse of the 15. I think we need to be quite aggressive on the brakes here. We've only got 0.6 of a mile to the 15 mile an hour board. There we go, a little bit harder on the brakes here. There we go, nicely does it. Speed's coming off perfectly. We've got still 300 yards or so to run to the 15 board. We'll keep it running around 26 for a little bit longer, so that we can Get a little bit closer before we take off the last 10 miles an hour or so. There we go, there is Strood. Let's just pop the power back on. And we're going to be pretty much bang on time into Strood actually, which is going to be good. We're keeping to time just about. So we'll run this into the end of the platform by the looks of it. At 15 miles an hour. But it's all good. It's all good. Normally there's a lot of action here at Strood. Hopefully you see quite a few trains, perhaps. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? You can see we already have the signal to go left in once we've stopped here at Strood. There we go, and you can see in fact there's a 465. Yeah, let's unlock those doors. We're about 20 seconds late, which is all good. You can see that 465 coming into Strood now. We'll load these passengers up. Then we've got Rochester next, Chatham, Gillingham, and then finally Raynham. This feels like we've really run through those stations already where we've stopped at quite quickly, in fact. There goes that 465. Right, let's get going. Oh, put a bit of a brake on here. We were slightly speeding there. Just need to maintain 15 miles an hour as we go up this slope here. And then we run into a 30 zone, but actually 20 already. I just love how much visibility you get in this loco. It's so nice. We'll get to see the submarine in just a moment. Oh, I just gone out of view. It'll be there any minute. There it is. That's always fun seeing that. So Rochester up next. As we go around this this bend here, it should come into view. We're actually permitted to run up to 30 now, so there you go. You can just see the end make out the end of the station there. So here is Rochester. You can see we've got a double yellow ahead, which will get the AWS warning very shortly. And you can see the sunflower is actually illuminated on the digital screen there, which is very nice. As we've got a Javelin coming in to Rochester. There we go. And we'll stop here. Lovely stuff. Let's open the doors and we'll set the DRA. As we've got a double yellow, but it's also good reason to show you one of the announcements. Let's run down the end here. Get to see. Oh, I can't quite see the two together lined up nicely. So almost finished loading the passengers here. We'll lock those doors. There we go. We'll reset the DRA.
Driver, you have reset the DRA. Please check the signal.
I love that. Get a little announcement to remind you to check the signal, which we can now see has gone green. You also get an announcement when you turn on AWS as well. It comes up saying sort of AWS TPWS activated, which is, again, very cool. Little things like that just make the difference. As we are going to be running through the old Rochester station. And then we'll be running straight into Chatham, the home of Dovetail Games. You can tell why this has got so much love, given it's the kind of home route of Dovetail Games. But hey, it is amazing. There's the 30, which we're already doing, as we run into the tunnel here. And once we're through the tunnel, we immediately pop out upon Chatham Station. I think as well, I've not seen any obvious bugs along the way so far, which is really quite refreshing after the past couple of releases from Dovetail Games. So credit where it's due. As we see a Class 375. As we start to brake. There we go, we can see our stop marker just up ahead. We should be pretty bang on. That will do nicely. There we go, let's jump into the camera. And actually this is a really good opportunity to show you the tiny little windows that you get to see out of on the 375 versus the really huge window that we get on the 700. It's quite nice to see them both together like that. You really get to see the difference, which is nice. So up next will be Gillingham, which will be our penultimate stop before we terminate at Raynham. Lovely stuff. I'm pretty sure I turned that on anyway. You can see the GSMR is active. You can see the head code that we're running, which is 9 Papa 15, and you can confirm that on the timetable as well. So that's all working good, and we're ready to depart. I think we can turn up the brightness. There you go, you can see it a little bit better. As we accelerate up to 30, and we'll shortly get a 50 by the looks of it. I'm ignoring the fact that we know it's going to be yellow next. There's the repeater, which indicates... Oh, it's just gone green. So we must be following something in front of us. We should get the 50 board any moment. So once we've fully cleared that, we can, yeah, there we go, we can fully accelerate now. So Gillingham only in 1.1 miles. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. So we are running on double yellows here, so we'll just keep cruising at 40, I think. And we'll wait for the next signal to see what it is as we enter Gillingham Tunnel. And again, as soon as we exit this tunnel, we are pretty much straight upon Gillingham Station, if I'm not much mistaken. And also the signal is just the opposite side of, just on the exit as well of the tunnel, which we can't really see just yet. I'm sure it will become a lot clearer as we exit. There we go, it's a single yellow, so we'll come off the power, we'll acknowledge AWS there, and we'll start to slow. And there you go, you can see Gillingham Station. We've got a class 7, another 700. It's nice seeing so many 700s along the way. As it starts to depart. So you can see we've got a red ahead. And we'll acknowledge the AWS for that. There is a slight delay between going over the magnet and hearing the audible sound. But we will run all the way up to the end of the platform here. And actually we are well over where we should have been stopping. See, that's why they need to get those stop markers in so that we know where to stop. We'll set the DRA because it's a red ahead. And we'll jump out here. And if I'm not much mistaken, I believe some 700s are stored here occasionally. That might be overnight rather than here during the day, I'd imagine. Yeah. Let's jump back to the cab. And actually now, in fact, we've got the green. So whatever was in front of us has cleared. So we've got another about 50 or 40 seconds to go. We can have a look around Gillingham. So you can see on here we got a this service is being operated by ThamesLink, which is nice to see. You can see it's going to Rainham. Can we see any other services? That's Southeastern. These are all Victoria services, so no other ThamesLink ones visible at the moment. And we are driving at 700,004 today. Very nice.
Driver, you have reset the DRA. Please check the signal.
Yep, it's good. Signal's good. So let's get going. There we go. We can get 100% power out of Gillingham as we make our way to our final stop, which will be Rainham, platform 0. So as we come into Rainham, I'd imagine we will be brought down under yellows as we have to cut across the oncoming path to get into platform 0. Acceleration is so good. Already up to 50. I think we should be hitting 80 in just a moment. But we are going to be under greens, so there's the 80 board. Once we've cleared that, we can put the power back on. There we go. Continue accelerating, although we can see up ahead we're going to be hitting double yellows. So as you run over this magnet, you'll see it's just a little bit of a delay. I don't know whether that's prototypical or not. There we go, we need to be slowing for the double yellow. We have to assume the next signal will be a single. Which very much is. And we'll acknowledge AWS for the single yellow here. As the class 465 flies past us. This feels very much like approach control at the moment as we roll up to the next signal, which I assume as we get a little bit closer it will give us the path into platform 0. Got a minute and a half to be stopped. Okay, we need to be slowing a little bit more. You can see the signal coming up ahead. We're going to get AWS now, which we'll acknowledge. It feels like we're not going to get the signal just yet. And there you go. There we go. We got it now. You can see indicating that we'll be going into platform 0. But we're permitted to run at 25 across the points here. So I'll speed up a little bit. Actually, we sped up a little bit too much there. Just dab of brakes. There you go. You can see we're indicated 25 across the points, which we're doing. As we head into platform 0 here at Raynham, which will be our final stop. Just start to slow things down now as we run up to the buffers. Speed's coming down very nicely. I'll let it roll a little bit more. And there we go. This is platform 0. A little bit further, a little bit further. And that will do. Let's unlock those doors. That's the beautiful Class 700. That has been a really enjoyable run, I think. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I hope you have as well. Please consider hitting that like button. It really is appreciated. And also, if you want to support the channel, please also consider subscribing. It's always really appreciated. And then we'll just wait for the passengers to finish loading, and we can see what medal we ended up with, which of course has got to be gold, surely. Yeah, there it is. Lovely stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.